in this video, I'm going to talk you through how to do the emergency stop. Now, you might have your driving test coming up and you're a little bit nervous and you want a little bit of a recap on how to do this stop and ace it on your test. Or you might be doing your driving lessons, your instructor said to you, look, we're going to do the emergency stop in the next lesson, and you want to get a little bit of a heads up on what to do. So in this video, I'm going to drive around to begin with and just talk you through what goes on in the emergency stop, and then we'll give the stop a few goes, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll be able to ace that emergency stop. So let's give it a go. First thing I'm going to do is the POM routine, preparation, observation, and then I can move away as it's safe. Now, on your driving test, the examiner isn't going to surprise you with this emergency stop. They will pull you up first by the side of the road and let you know that they'd like you to do the emergency stop. And they'll say something on the lines of, shortly I'm going to ask you to do the emergency stop. I'd like you to imagine a child had run out into the road, and I want you to stop as quickly as possible. You may see me check the mirror. You may also see me look over my right shoulder. Please don't anticipate the stop until I've raised my right hand and say stop. When you're ready, drive on. So, when the examiner, let's assume you're driving along, the examiner isn't going to ask you to do it on a busy road like this where there's lots of cars passing you. Where they're likely to ask you to do it is in one of these quieter roads that I'm about to go into now. Now, the key thing with doing the emergency stop is reacting quickly. So there's no need to check that interior mirror. You haven't got time. If you check that interior mirror, it's going to mean your overall stopping distance is going to be longer, because that is going to gobble up thinking time, and you don't have any time. If a child's run out into the road, you want to be braking firm and hard. So the technique for the emergency stop is, like I just said, you're going to brake firm and hard on the brake pedal. And once you've done that, just before the car comes to a stop, you're going to need to push the clutch down fully. Continue to brake firm and hard until the car's stopped. We should kind of feel a forward lurch in the car, and the seatbelt should lock slightly when you do this. If you're not getting a little lock in the steering wheel when you stop, you probably haven't pressed the brake firm and hard enough. Now, a lot of people ask, can you fail the emergency stop if you stall the car? And you don't. You won't fail. As long as you've got a good, firm, hard stop, if you stall the car, you will just get a driver fault. Obviously, if you go to move away again and you start stalling, like once or twice, and you make a little bit of a meal out of it, and you've forgotten what gear you're in, etc., then of course the examiner might consider that being a serious or even a dangerous fault if there's lots of cars like trying to go round you, etc. But if you still once, I wouldn't worry too much. Just make sure you're in first gear to move away again when you get going. So we're going to give it a go. So along here in about 100 meters or so, hopefully we'll show you how to do this emergency stop. So I'll say stop when I'm going to do it. So here it comes. Stop. So it's handbrake, neutral, and then you can rest your feet. So at this point here, the examiner will say to you, thank you for that. I won't be asking you to do that again. When you're ready, drive on. So at this point, I'm in neutral. I'm going to start my POM routine again. So I'm into first. And this is really important. that you look all around you. If you miss this, yes, you will get a serious fault. So I'm looking over my left shoulder, my left door mirror, interior head, right door mirror, right shoulder. No need for a signal here, nobody's around. But I can't emphasize enough, if you don't do those observations before you move away after that stop, then yes, unfortunately, that could be a serious or dangerous fault if, for example, a motorbike is passing you as you go to move away. So I'll go around the block and give it another go for you. This time I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing with my feet. So try and watch my feet on this one. Now, what type of road will the examiner ask you to do this on? As I said before, it'll be a quiet one and it will usually be a 30-mile-per-hour road. They won't be asking you to do this on a 60-mile-per-hour road. Other reasons you could fail the emergency stop is if you put the clutch down way too early. So that would mean literally the examiner said stop and your clutch goes down straight away, and then you brake, but it's not hard enough. And yes, that could result in a fail if that clutch has gone down way too early. So you can't really go wrong with this manoeuvre if you're braking firm and hard, and even if you forget to put the clutch down. As long as you've stopped, as if that child's run out into the road and it's nice and firm and hard, you get that little lock in the seatbelt, you should be fine. So when we get into this road, we're going to give it another go and pay attention to my feet if you can. So shortly we're going to be doing the emergency stop. So it's firm and hard on the brake, clutch down. You saw that lurch, handbrake, neutral, rest your feet. Okay, now we move away again. So it's into first, looking all around us. And sometimes, because you've done this emergency stop, a vehicle will come up behind you. And really important, when you're looking in those mirrors and all around you, look at their behaviour. Are they going to try and pass you? That's fine, let them pass you. Do not move away as they're passing you, otherwise you will fail. Okay? So what happens if you skid on the emergency stop? Well, it's unlikely in these modern cars that have ABS. ABS stands for anti-locking braking system. So that will detect the car going into a skid for you, and what it will do is it will rapidly brake the brake pads against your wheel for you, basically unlocking the brake pads slightly so you don't go into that skid. So keeping your foot firm and hard on the brake pedal, in the worst case scenario the ABS will kick in and you shouldn't go into a skid. But what if you do go into a skid, especially in real life? Well, in that case you do need to do what's called cadence braking, which means you're going to have to do what the ABS would do for you normally, and this you would do in some of the older vehicles that doesn't have ABS. So you're going to come off the brake and then reapply, come off the brake, reapply, but it's not that slowly, it's going to be rapidly. So you're kind of almost pumping the brake to come out of that skid, because remember, you do still need to stop as quickly as you can. So that is called cadence braking, and you're typically going to do that in the older vehicles. Do whatever car you buy, do make sure you check if your car's got ABS. I definitely recommend buying a vehicle with ABS. Also, if your car goes into a skid and the back end is changing direction, you need to know what to do to correct the skid. Now this probably won't happen on your driving test because you won't be going fast enough to do it, and the examiner, you wouldn't be changing direction either, which is where this would normally happen. But if it did happen to you in the real world once you've passed your test, then if the vehicle goes, the back of your vehicle goes out to the left, then you would steer into the skid. And you'd steer into it, you wouldn't go over the top, you just steer into it slightly. If your back end of your car goes out to the right, then guess what? You're going to turn to the right slightly. So if you can just remember, turn into the skid. So we're going to give it one more go. I'm going to come around this roundabout. Let's have another look at it. So shortly we're going to be doing the emergency stop. Here we go. So it's firm and hard on the brake, clutch down, handbrake on, neutral, and rest your feet. So I'm going to wrap this video up for you. I'll just get out of the road, because someone might come up behind us, and we'll finish off. So that is the emergency stop. If you've enjoyed the video, then do check out our website, driveJohnsons. We've got a section on there called the Learner Centre, where we regularly upload new videos and content. Alternatively, follow us on social media and keep in touch. Again, we post lots of videos on there, and hopefully you found today's lesson useful. Thanks for watching.